What up, world?
Welcome back.
Your boys, Caps and Flaco, once again here for another hip hop review.
Yes.
Now, if you tuned in last week, you can check the link right above my head.
Absolutely.
We did an initial reaction when Nas released the Nasir to the world at 10 p.m. Friday.
Yeah, that was complete bullshit.
Yeah.
Yo, by the way,
yeah,
like we wasn't really feeling that as listeners.
With the 12 a.m. release, like I don't understand.
Then it was 10 a.m. Right, with the other projects.
Yep.
And then it was.
And now 10 p.m.
It was. I mean, come on.
Thanks, guys.
We gotta do a better job, guys.
Thanks, guys.
For real, man.
But now we had a week to process the project, the EP, and we're back now to just give a final review.
And remember, with the reviews, it's 4 major food groups.
Yep.
It's lyrics, lyrical content, album structure, and beats. Because beats make the world go round. That's how it happens. I didn't make the rules. That's just how it is.
Fact.
You feel me?
Fact.
And we from New York, the home of where this shit was born.
Seriously.
Not that other people aren't doing it and doing it at a high level.
Shout out to all them.
You know what I'm saying?
What originated here. So
Absolutely. So
stop it.
stop it. Cut the shit out already. But anyway.
All right.
Since it's an EP format, my little brother always kicks it off. So
EP 18. All right. As you seen all my reactions off of the initial, mind blown, epic. But now that I got to soak it in for a week, I'm not bringing that same energy. And I honestly think, because it's nothing against Nas, Nas is the reason why I truly enjoyed this project. As you know, there's no question there. You don't give me a 7-track Nas anything. That to me is just like it should be illegal. And I once again blame Kanye, who's just straight up chopped the legs off of all his artists, all his people. Like I don't understand. You even seen a Pusha T interview where he said he had joints.
it's barbaric.
He said he had joints.
It's uncalled for.
And Kanye was like, nah, you collaborate with Cudi. So it's 2 of y'all. And you only do 7 joints. If you Kanye choose to do 7 joints, then that was the worst of the 4. By all means, do what you gotta do. But you do not do this to these MCs, and especially the god of Nas. Like that to me is just crazy.
Tell them why you ran, man.
I'm just over EP 18. I'm just honestly over EP 18, and I hate that I feel like Nasir is getting the brunt of it, you know, like I feel like an abused victim, and I'm lashing back now, and Nasir is getting the brunt of it. It's not fair, because if I think about it, if it was flipped and Nasir dropped before Daytona, if Nasir led the charge of this, I probably might feel different. In all honesty, I'm being honest with everyone. It's like, but I'm over it, and now you know what? No, you ain't gonna give me 7 Nas songs. Not Life Was Good. It was 6 years ago, and I get 7. So no, I'd probably be more pissed. I would have went to the next listening. I would have went to that damn ranch and put hands on Kanye.
Yeah.
I'd have found a way in that ranch.
I don't know. Like, it was like 10 G's a room there, a night.
I'd have burrowed my way. You don't give me 7 Nas songs after 6 years hiatus. Like this doesn't make any sense to me.
I agree.
Oh my god! All right, I'm done venting. Let me listen. Look, the bars were there. Like it's Nas. Like yo, the bars were there. There were a couple where he only gave 2 verses and let Kanye get on the dream and all this shit. But still, the bars are just flawless. So I can't knock that. The album structure, beginning to end, it was as complete as 7 freaking songs can get. So I'll give it that. The content, kidding me? It's nonsense. And the beats outside of that intro song, the initial song, and just whatever was broken with that. And we said that even
yes, we did. Absolutely.
The rest were I gotta tip my hat to Kanye. But I'm not down with this wave. I'm not gonna call this an album like the industry's calling it, like Hot 97, Power 105. They're all just, you know, lemmings. Like, oh no, it's an album. No, it's not. It's an EP, and you don't do that to Nas, especially Nas fans. After 6-year hiatus from Life Is Good to just 7 songs. Excuse me. Beat it, cocksucker. I'm good. So it has to take a hit. Somebody has to make a stand, and I'm only gonna give this a 3. It definitely deserves more, but nah, like this is not cool. You don't do this to Nas.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment. So now it's Cap's turn. Now this is the disclaimer. I've said this before many times to other people.
He has. You can watch other videos.
Yeah, this is a very. I'm always gonna be a little biased when it comes to Nas because
Check other videos.
Check other videos. To me, in my opinion, Nas is the greatest MC of all time. Even being a little biased, I can still give a fair assessment of this project because that's what it's not an album. So I really need people to stop using that narrative.
Good luck.
That EPs are albums. EPs are not albums. LPs are long plays.
Yep.
EPs are extended plays. So you have to get off that high horse. Now, once you get past all that stuff, listening to this EP, this project, lyrically is sound. I think he basically,
100%.
a 6-year hiatus, he basically touched on a lot of things that are going on and still continue to plague, our community. If you don't believe me, you could go down the list of every album he had before, and we're still having the same reoccurring subjects and the same reoccurring subject matter. You could go as far back as Bob Marley. You could go as far back as Stevie Wonder. And these are all people that have influenced people that are making music now. He hit home on every point. The beats, I think, were great. I just don't think that, for the most part, that sound matched what he was conveying lyrically.
Gotcha.
Which I think is one of the biggest challenges when you're dealing with a lyricist like that caliber. Dealing with a Jay-Z or an Eminem, like a Black Thought or a Royce, like those guys, it's very difficult for you to find a groove
to marry the sound to the content.
Exactly.
It's interesting.
So I think it didn't hit home on the entire project. I think songs like Bonjour, songs like Adam and Eve, songs like Cop Shot the Kid, which kind of had like a Thief's theme type energy. Like Simple Things, I think those songs on this project, they hit home. Like it was a good marriage of them both. I think the other tracks not so much, and I think it was his lyrics kind of carried the beat. I wasn't really the biggest fan of the features that were on it. Even though I thought The Dream did very well on the one he did.
The sound was. Sound good.
But I didn't think the features were great, and I didn't think they were needed because again,
you ain't there for them. You ain't there.
Because again, like my little bro hit on, he had a 6-year hiatus. I don't really give a fuck about all these other folks that you're trying to put into the limelight and try to, like OVO, whatever. I don't care about you.
07, no.
Yeah, I don't even care.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really care about that. And it's not like they improved the tracks. Nope. I don't mind if you have a feature and it improves the record. I just think that they didn't improve the records. Like, they didn't need to be there. Especially with the hiatus and the sample size you're giving me as a listener. So I think that's my critique as far as the album. I thought as a listen it bookended great. I thought this.
Right.
So we're going with lyrics, lyrical content, album structure, and beats, of course. I think the beats were great. I just think that not all of them hit home with what he was saying on the songs. I think the structure was great. It was a great listen as great as a 7 fucking song listen could be.
26 minutes.
And content and lyrics, of course, that's going to be top notch. Right. It's just that, again, we're from an old head perspective. We listen to things as a project. We don't listen song by song. So when we're giving you these critiques, we're giving you as the body of work.
Right.
I cannot give it a 5 because it's an EP. I'm just not going to do it. I don't care who you are. It could be 5 songs. It could be 8.5. It could be 9 and 7.5. If it's not an album or more than 40 minutes, I cannot give you a 5. That's just my critique, my opinion. As far as the others, I think that when the beats didn't hit home with the lyrics, I think the lyrics kind of carried the carried the
To the finish line.
yeah. So for me, I'm gonna give the album a 4.
Gotcha.
The EP, I'm sorry, a 4. Again, I'm a biased person. I think I love Nasir. I think every time he comes out with a project, his words matter. You know, he falls in a line of other MCs like Chuck D's of the world, the KRS-Ones of the world, the Pacs of the world, the Tupac Shakurs of the world, the Ice Cubes of the world, the Common Senses of the world. I think those guys always had an avenue where their words really mattered.
Right.
And I think that the 6-year hiatus, the words mattered, but I needed more.
Yep.
The greedy part of me, I needed more songs. I needed more. I want, like, we didn't get the things that were happening on his end, how it reflected himself, which is what we got in the Life is Good album, which is what we got in the Godson album.
It got personal in Life is Good.
You know, so these are things that were missing from the 7-song sampling. So again, I'm gonna give it a 4. That's my critique. I'm a huge Nasir fan. Thank you, Nas, for coming out, even if it's just 7 songs. Thank you for coming out, because you are definitely needed in this landscape. I don't care who you are. I think if you are a Nas fan like myself, you will definitely enjoy this song, this EP.
And me, damn it, I don't know why you just.
And him, you know, and Flaco. And I think that if you're not a Nasir fan,
Who isn't?
quiet. No, there aren't. But you know,
don't
I think those who don't, they can enjoy this listen as well.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it a 4. Flaco is giving it a 3. That averages out to a 3.5. Now, as far as his catalog, a plus, a minus, good edition,
It's a
bad
plus.
edition.
I have to admit it's a plus because the content is dope. It's just not enough. So that's just a greedy fan in myself.
Got you.
Speaking, you know. So I cannot play it like that. It's just the frustration of this new wave, this new thing that's going on, you know. And it's not fair to the fans.
I'm not. I totally agree. I'm not a fan of the EPs, samples. I mean, listen. I think for breaking artists coming through, I think it's dope.
Right. Yeah.
I think when you're collaborating like a Talib and Styles P, which was an amazing EP from last year. I think when you're doing something like that, the small sample size is good.
Right.
Because if they tour together, seeing them do the songs together and then seeing them do their own thing, I think that's a great thing. I think it's good for the crowd. I think it's good for the people that attend, those type of things. I also think it's a positive thing. I wouldn't quite put it, you know, with his top tier albums, but I do think it's a good sample size for what he has. It's a nice little addition. And for those, you know, we always bring the one day reminisce aspect. To me, Nas is lyrically wise. He has the capability of. He's always had storytelling ability. He's always had the flashiness ability, you know, and he's always had the braggadocious ability, and he's also always had records that touch home with the audience because things that happen around him, they resonate with the people in his fan base. So my reminisce part is not, I can't just bring it down to one person. I think a lot of people influenced him. The ones that come to mind when I think about it, it would be like Melly Mel, MC Shan, and Cool G Rap. I think those 3 people, those 3 legends, they basically were kind of like a blueprint of how he constructs records as far as storytelling and being braggadocious and, you know, just being lyrical. And I think like that's like a marriage of what makes Nasir who he is.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Which is why I like that segment, because I like the fact that there are dope artists, but there was somebody before them. And yeah, they do take a little bit from everybody and, you know, form their own style and do what they have to do.
Spoon fed and seeking.
Yes, sir. So the spoons,
you know the norm. You know what's on there.
You know what's on the top 5, the top 10, the top 20, the top whatever.
Yeah.
But for those who seek, if you know this young man, props to you. If you do not know this man, he is from Lower Manhattan. But my family's from the West Side, Chelsea. Shout out to Chelsea and Chelsea's own Frank Castle. Last year he had a project called Butter.
Yep.
I know he's in the studio working on something now, but shout out to my man Frank Castle. And the title of that project he worked on was Butter.
Yep.
And this song is entitled
Marginalized. Enjoy, y'all.
Yo, I'm smooth as a white Russian. Milk and ice, the youth, I'ma try touching. And give advice, this game is a fool's paradise. Trading rhymes day and night, doing show to show. Missing your wife, that's a sacrifice. Or to get marginalized.
Oh, man.
Y'all Get No More. Shout out to that young man.
Shout out Frank
Castle. Make sure you stream his music, download, support that young man. Support hip hop, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we're here for.
Please.
We're trying to make this thing as big as possible. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to that man, Frank Castle. Shout out to Mr. Nasir Jones.
Yep.
I'm a humongous fan, like I said. And you are a much needed voice. You're a much needed voice in this spectrum. You definitely need it. I mean, I know it was only 7 songs, but that impact of that 7 makes me wish that we had 12 or 14. You know, in this climate, I really feel that
Seriously.
you know, the OGs still have to be out there making that music because they still have a lot to offer to these younger guys that are coming in the game as well. So,
and obviously a lot is still needed because I'm gonna take this moment to just get real quick and just say R.I.P. to Antoine Rose.
yes.
Who, young man from Pittsburgh that got shot down in the back 3 times by a cop that pulled him over and he ran, but that's no reason for anyone to ever lose their life. And it's just so sad and disgusting just to see this same trend continue to go on and on and on, and it's just like it falls on deaf ears. You know, try to do it peacefully, try to do whatever, and it just never ends, bro. Like it just see no end in sight from well before we were born, and to my kids, I don't see an end in sight when it comes to this, and the police being policed, and just their direct target, which is black and brown people, man. It's crazy in America. And then we also got to address the stupidity that plagues us within itself, because you sit there, and I'm not a fan of this individual, his music, or who he was, even though I know he tried to change his life around, but XXXTentacion, who was murdered by another black man, like it's just despicable in this day and age. Like I said, we want to sit there and we want to protest and we want to point fingers about the cops, but meanwhile we out there killing these ourselves. We doing this shit for free. They getting paid to do it. You know what I'm saying? We happily would just obliterate and eradicate ourselves for them. You know, and it's just sad, bro. It's disgusting, man. These are 2 young men. X was 20, Antoine was a teenager. Like,
Listen, man, we got to do better. We as a people, we got to do better. I know that there's a lot of things that happen to our community. We have people that get convicted of crimes and they get out, they can't vote.
Right.
Like, you guys got to find a way to learn how to, you got to learn how to organize in your community, build another person to run for office. Like,
right.
We got to start supporting people that aren't taking big money dollars from other people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to do that. We have to start doing that as a community. And we also got to start policing ourselves.
Yeah.
We got to start, you got to stop fucking using violence as a way to answer things, like a way to respond things. Like, we have to do better. Like, it's not a good reflection on anybody, man.
At
like
all.
we need to stop. We need to put the violence down. We need to get people that are about equal rights, because equal rights should be equal to everybody.
Stop
You know
being
what I mean?
fans of clowns like that 6ix9ine dude and all.
Oh, no, we don't want to address that
But
guy.
I mean, because what it is, sure, right.
We want to address
correction.
that guy.
But any artist that be on social media talking crazy about popping this dude, like, they don't deserve your time.
No.
Dude, stop making these clowns famous.
Stop making stupid people famous,
seriously.
man. Stop making stupid people
'Cause
famous.
I'm not saying like their words. Well, they said this, so this is why this person shot at this, like that. No, that's no excuse. But you know what? That mentality, that type of energy that they're bringing, none of us need to be around that. No one needs to be around that. That dude should not be a millionaire. Like, he should, like, no revenue should be coming to the, like, well, but within our community, they don't deserve our time. I'm sorry. Gotta be mindful about that, man. Don't go into their concerts, but none of that. Like, we deal with the real out here in these streets on a day to day. We see what it is. We know who's doing what. We know them D-boys. We know that and the third, and figure out a way to just get around and live a decent life. You know what I mean? Like, make ends meet. Don't need to glorify that garbage no more, man.
Absolutely. I could not agree with you more. So once again, hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like, follow, share, and subscribe. Sharing and subscribe. Sharing and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? And before we say peace, remember, stay blessed and stop making stupid people famous.
Seriously.
Shout out to Nasir.